Local unions have been battling with National Grid for months, claiming public safety may be at risk. And today, locked out gas workers rallied to bring attention to their cause.
Do your job, DPU! Do your job, DPU!
Their battle with National Grid started a couple of months ago, back in June, when their contract expired. Unions say they were prepared to keep working as negotiations went on, but National Grid locked them out the day after the contract was up. Now those union members say they've been left without benefits like health insurance, and untrained personnel are doing the potentially dangerous work that they used to do. They've been filing complaints with the state, claiming unsafe working conditions and safety violations, including improper equipment installation and misuse of safety mechanisms. Yesterday, the Attorney General's office sent a letter to the Department of Public Utilities requesting a public investigation into these safety claims and whether National Grid customers are really getting the services they're paying for right now. For its part, National Grid, in a statement to us, said that safety is their top priority, and they have successfully completed more than 18,000 jobs over the past 12 weeks without incident. They say it was a difficult decision to lock out the union, but that they must, quote, balance the needs of their employees with the interests of their customers, and that no progress is being made despite years of discussions about benefits and retirement plans. According to their spokesperson, quote, we prefer to work directly with the two unions at the negotiating table rather than engage them in a public forum. And they do, in fact, have a meeting with union representatives scheduled for tomorrow, but refuse to send someone for our conversation here tonight. Joining me are John Bonapane. He's president of United Steelworkers Local 1202?
12012.
12012. Good to meet you, John. Thanks so much for being here. And David Monahan is Union Service Tech out of Lowell. Dave, thank you for being here, too.
Thank you.
Most people I've spoken to think you're on strike. You are not. You were locked out by National Grid. They say they did it because they wanted to ensure safe and uninterrupted service. I know you disagree with that. But they also say that no progress is being made in negotiations at all. Are they right about that?
Well, we've met once a week since we were locked out. We're in the 12th week of the lockout now. And you're right. We were locked out. This isn't a strike. We didn't choose to be locked out. The company, when they lock out employees, literally lock the doors and don't allow you to report to work.
What's the holdup? What are the issues that separate you from National Grid?
Well, obviously, the package for new hires. They're calling it a new hire package. And it's basically what we call a two-tiered benefit system. They want people who are hired into National Grid to have an inferior benefit package. They want to take away the pension for new hires. They want to give them a 401k plan. They want to take away the defined benefit plan, which we have currently. They want to reduce their life insurance, their sick time.
They say other workers for them, other unions who represent workers who work for them, have agreed to these kinds of deals. Is that true?
That is true.
So why aren't you doing it?
So just to kind of give you a little background, National Grid is a huge utility company. 20 years ago, National Grid was really all different regional gas and electric companies with all different unions, all with different bargaining histories with their companies. They made different agreements over the years where they may have sacrificed certain things, wages, benefits, to keep certain things, which we did. We've sacrificed wages to keep things like the pension and decent health care. And we feel that the sacrifices we made in the past should mean something now.
And by the way, their profit, I read in one of the Globe stories, $4.8 billion after-tax profit last year. And aren't they requesting a multi-million-dollar rate hike?
They are, and I'm hearing that that's supposed to be in place by the end of the month.
David, I want to bring you into this conversation. I read your story. Incredible. You were diagnosed with a cancerous tumor on your bladder just a week before the lockout, and your health benefits were taken away.
Correct. 2 weeks beforehand, I saw the doctor in Boston, and they told me that I had a tumor in my bladder, cancerous. They suspected, and that I would need to have surgery to have it removed.
And what did it feel like when you knew, and for your family, I know you've got a young kid, you got a wife. What did it feel like at the moment you knew, I have cancer, and I have no health insurance? What did that feel like?
My first thought was I had to figure out my options, because not having it wasn't an option.
And my understanding is your coworkers and some sister unions have come to your aid. Is that not true?
My father is also a steel worker at another utility company in Boston, and they took up a collection with their membership to help offset my health insurance costs.
So other workers essentially are anteing up where the company has taken a walk to
Correct.
ensure that you can get, what,
Yep.
Cobra or some sort
Yeah,
of...
I after looking into it a lot, my really only option was the Cobra, which was a continuation of what we had.
How is your health? You look pretty decent. Are you decent?
I am at the moment. I've had surgery. I'm waiting some follow-up appointments and stuff, but it's going to be a lifelong thing at this point. they're
So
telling me.
health insurance was, I mean, he's lucky, and I use the term really advisedly, when you got a condition like yours. His father and others came to his benefit. Do you have other workers who
Yes,
have health
yes.
needs?
Yeah,
I mean, there was a little 9-year-old girl that had some rare lung disorder, was in the Globe. Does she have
right.
health insurance now?
Well, I think it's a similar situation to Dave. The people have made donations to help out the family.
Are there some that have no health insurance at all?
I'm guessing there probably is. The United Steelworkers has what we call an emergency fund, emergency health care plan that's funded by an emergency fund. And a lot of people applied for that. Some people applied for Mass Health, but there are people that probably don't have any insurance right now.
How do you feel about this? I mean, you're going to go back to work someday, I would assume, I hope.
That's the hope.
How do you feel about this company that locked you out, that took away your health insurance? They didn't make arrangements for your colleagues and father to raise money for you. They basically said, see you later.
I don't even know that I've fully come to grasps with how I'm going to handle it. You know what I mean? We're not going to know until we go back to work how we're truly going to react.
You know, I know I said in the opening here, John, that you've said there's some safety concerns, and I listed some, but I spoke in a different language here. Say in English, what are the concerns you have about the safety of customers and the work that's being done by your replacements?
So first of all, our workforce is made up of very experienced people who do a dangerous job. It's hazardous. We're talking about a dangerous product. If it's provided safely, it's safe. If it's not, it can have serious consequences. There's about 1,200 people. Most of them are field workers that respond to emergencies. We maintain the gas system, whether it's above ground, underground. We regulate the pressure in the gas system.
So what's the safety risk now while you're not
So
working?
the safety risk now is they have many inexperienced people replacing us that have never worked in the field doing gas work. And it's a serious problem.
Are they trained for these things?
Well,
they've never done before?
the federal requirements, the training, there's what's called an operator qualifications test. And it's about 3 days of training to take that test. And I'm guessing probably anybody in this building with the 3 days training that they provide to take the test could take the test and pass it. Our people are field tested. Most of our people, a lot of our people have more than 20 years. Most of the training occurs out in the field.
This has obviously become a political issue, too. I know your rally today, Jay Gonzalez, who's the Democratic nominee
Sure.
for governor, running against Charlie Baker. Here's a little bit from Gonzalez.
Strong-arm tactics of National Grid are unconscionable. The public safety risks associated with it that this DPU, Governor Baker's DPU, is doing nothing about. You deserve a governor who understands that we need unions now more than ever.
Speaking of that, Governor, you've requested meetings. I know you've actually, I think, had demonstrations up in Swampscott. Did a meeting not happen yesterday?
It did yesterday, yes.
Was that a value, or what's the deal?
I think the meeting was productive. We provided him with a lot of information. We provided him information specifics about the safety concerns, some of the things that we've observed out in the field since the lockout began with replacement workers. He's going to take that information back, and he's going to look into it.
Did you bring up, I mean, I'm stuck on this, almost $5 billion after-tax profit in fiscal year 2018. Did you bring that up with the governor?
Absolutely, sure.
And what's his,
Sure.
I mean, they can't afford for new workers to have the benefits that you fought for and have, but they can afford to generate a $5 billion profit. I mean,
He said he had a serious problem with the health care, but he recognized the fact that it was a private company in negotiations with the union.
British company now.
British
correct?
company.
Are
correct,
your workers supporting this? I mean, are people essentially willing to do the suffering for what you hope is the end thing here?
We're all out there every day, walking the picket lines, coming to the meetings, doing what we're asked. So I would say that everybody supports it. Yeah.
Will you do this as long as it takes? Or you will, no matter
Yes.
how long this takes?
Yep.
Winter is around the corner. You're willing
Yep.
to do this?
Yep.
And could I just, we have a worker he's a double amputee. He's probably one of the people that suffered the most because of this lockout. And I went to see him the other day in his physical rehab facility. And with tears in his eyes, he said, I want you to keep fighting. This is about the future. My suffering is not going to be for nothing.
What do you want real people to do who don't work at this place if they support what you're doing? What do you want them to do?
I think they have to let people know. When I talk about people know, I'm talking about the governor, people at the DPU, people of positions of influence, that somebody has to hold National Grid accountable for the way they're operating. Attorney, as you mentioned in your report, Attorney General sent a very strong letter requesting hearings at the Department of Public Utilities to do an investigation to how the National Grid is operating right now. Not only with safety and levels of service, but the cost of this lockout. We're being told that the cost of this lockout is into the millions. And we don't think that the ratepayers, the citizens of Massachusetts, should be flipping the bill for that.
Almost 2 million of them, is that not right?
I'm sorry?
Almost 2 million of them, is that not right? Customers?
Yes, yes.
By the way, and once again, we invited them tonight. They chose not to come. Marcy Reed, anybody from National Grid, you are welcome here any night to state your case, your side of this lockout. John, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
David,
Yep,
good
nice
health
meeting
to
you.
you.
Thank you.
And wish you luck to you and your family. Appreciate it.